Today, haptic feedback for guitar playing? Hey. Hello, guitar and bass players and people that are interested in a review of this thing. So Black Friday came along and I wanted a gadget. And they have been, Woojer, have been bombarding Facebook and Instagram with ads, and I fell for it and I bought it. Because I like video games, I like big movies with explosions. I'm not too much of a sit at home and listen to music kind of guy, or walk through the city and listen to music kind of guy, which is something they portray in the ads, someone running around with a vest, listening to music, not my thing. And then I thought, how cool would it be to review this as a haptic feedback for guitar? Because a lot of us play through a computer or some kind of modeler, and what we're really missing is that puff of air, that feeling of a big 412 on stage. And can a thing that vibrates you with spinny, vibraty things, kind of the same thing that you have in your Xbox or PlayStation controller, just in a little bit bigger, can that simulate the feeling of you playing guitar, chug, 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 and it goes chug, 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 and you're in the sound? And we'll find out. Before we do that, well, so what I did is they have 30-day return something, so I bought it for the Black Friday deal. They don't know I'm making this video. This has nothing to do with them. It is not paid for. I paid for the products, and if I don't like them, can return them. So I ordered the belt one, which is called the Woojer belt one. Strap, I think, and that's the edge, which is the vest. So let's unbox them and see what's in the box. So here we got the little guy. That's the Woojer. We're gonna call it Woojer. What's the name of that? I don't know. That's what it is. The little guy. The haptic strap. Packaging seems nice. Let's see. We put that away. Okay, there's something in here. Let's see what that is. Packaging is nice. User manual. Okay, that will come in handy when I will use it. And I need a manual. There's a little thing. Protecty thing, okay. I mean, it's got to have some weight to it because it's haptic. So this is the belt. We're going to call it a belt. Okay. Little instructions on the belt. On, off. Bluetooth button. Up, down, and volume. Headphone out. Charge USB-C, and a door sign. Whatever that is. I don't know. And let's see. Ah. That seems like a nice, really rugged clasp. Very nice. And these are rubbery. You want to have probably some pressure on your body in order to use the Woojer. Nice. And apparently all the cables you shall need. Charging cable. Okay, and that is it. Of course, no power supply because we don't get these anymore. Okay, here we got the big kahuna. That is the big Woojer vest. The Woojer vest. It's toys for people that don't know what else to do with their money. But maybe it's cool. We shall find out. I need scissors. Might be the bee's knees when you're playing video games, and might be really, really cool. Actually, for playing guitar, if I can find out how to get my guitar signal from some kind of modeler into this. Come here, Woojer. Might also be really dumb to try to play guitar through this. big ass button. Is this really necessary? Apparently it is. Okay. This does feel like a high quality product already. I can tell you that. It is also, I mean, it has to, because the price that I paid for it. Okay. Smells new. Smells woo. So, what do we have here? Nicely padded. Clip this together. That's the control thing with headphone out, power in? Power in? Does it have a power supply? I hope so. And then something out, or the door. I don't know what that means. We'll find out. Power button. I now found out you push this thing and the clasp opens. This seems extremely padded, but this is where the haptic ball thingies are in. So this is going to jiggle you. And this is going to jiggle you. And then these are going to jiggle you. So we got 6 jiggle points, and this is memory foamish. So it should be rather comfortable from what I'm seeing here. These are zippers. So you could service, or I don't know if you can clean it. Not bad at all so far. First impression is it's not super crap. Let's see what else we have. How do we get to this? Here. Fast charger, nice. So it does come with a charger. And here we have the same cables. Oh, nice and long cable. Adapters, okay. I had to pay, just to let you know, no taxes or whatever. It came from Holland, so within Europe, it's fine. If you are, of course, in England and it's coming from Holland, if that's the case, then Brexit's going to fuck you. Okay, charger, done. Nice Rooney. And the manual. Now give me some time to figure this all out. There we go. Let's get it right out of the way. Presentation as far as packaging goes, flawless. Presentation as far as the quality of the product goes. It says made in China, but it is clearly made to the highest specs. I think it's a company from Israel. They have definitely very high quality QC. The seams are great. This seems great. The clasp, everything in that rose goldy kind of color is definitely a high quality product. Is this thing €175 high quality? I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's the only one that does what it does, I think. So yeah, the vest is absolutely stunning in how it is manufactured. I gotta say this. From these pads here to look at these seams. Don't they seem awesome? So no, the quality of this feels really. There's a plate in there or something. This, as I already mentioned, very nice, like temper foam. All these little bits here, definitely as good quality as this has to be, or it should be, for the money you're paying. So there's zero disappointment in taking this out of the box and you thinking, what, that's the China crap I paid for? No, that's good shit. 100%. You have to charge them when they come right out of the box. And the thing that I never understood is, how do they connect? For me, I need to know that for my investment, I can hook it up to the peripherals I have. So let's look at it. Both of them work the same way. And I'll show you on the strap. Once it's charged, you can turn this on up here. And then hold this in long, then Bluetooth connects, and it shows up as a Bluetooth speaker. So that's where we get my iPad, for example, will send Bluetooth audio to this. And then I can make it quieter and louder right here for the headphone output. And then the haptic is up and down. Relatively easy, so more or less vibration, more or less volume. Your headphones go in here. USB-C charging, that's the way it's supposed to be, not micro USB or whatever. And this is an analog input. Conceptually, you listen to music with your iPhone, with your whatever phone, Bluetooth, send Bluetooth here, and then wired headphones come out into your ears. Okay? I, for example, the first thing I tried is I had a show playing on my iPad. Well, I want the haptic feedback, but I want the audio to continue coming from my iPad. That's not working, because as soon as the iPad connects with this, the audio is dead on the iPad. So therefore, I would have to sit here with headphones on and this. Or let's say listening to music with your speakers at home. And this is a problem if you're using Bluetooth. According to their website, there are devices that will allow you to address two different Bluetooth destinations. Apple can do it, but only with their own devices. So you can have two Apple iPods or whatever, but not something else. Apparently, Samsung Galaxy, starting from the Note 8 or something like this, they can do it. So you can say, I want Bluetooth there, and it sends to both. But for Apple, it means having this haptic feedback and having your AirPods in, not going to happen. So you need wired headphones. It's not their fault, I get that. But it is something that would make me think twice about getting it if I knew this. Because I want this to be wireless, okay, all good, and I want my freaking headphones to be wireless. Now, they're recommending getting a Bluetooth transmitter, a separate one that is a Bluetooth transmitter splitter thing, which you can get, which you then obviously have to hook up to your iPhone or iPad with a wire, and then you have a wire on it, and then that sends Bluetooth to both. It's not easy, that's the point. So conceptually, yeah, it's not Woojer's fault, but it still is how you have to use it, okay? You can also use one of the supplied, that's not supplied, that's my extension cord, one of the supplied cables. So that goes out from your phone, for example, analog in here, and then you use the headphones. Same idea. What if I don't want to use headphones? So here on my system in the studio, I can easily route a separate audio signal. What if you're playing a video game? Now, my first try was up in the living room, coming out of my receiver into the vest. And as soon as I plug a headphone into the receiver, my whole 5.0 or 7.1 system is dead. Not happy about that. But check out this video and I explain what I found out.
This looks like some kind of sauce. This is on the side. Only one way to find out.
A bit much. A little bit much. Okay, that works. That works. So, my first reaction was, when playing video games, not great, because I had to connect it with lots of extenders to my receiver over there, the Yamaha, and as soon as I'm coming out of the receiver, my audio system is toast. And I have a really nice 7.1 audio system in here that, why would I want to put on headphones if I have that system? So that made this useless, okay? But reading a little bit further, they suggested plugging it into the controller out and then headphones, which again defeats the purpose of the audio system. But when connected to the controller, you can actually have the audio out of the Xbox going on at the same time. And that makes it a lot more usable. First of all, you're not tethered too much. This is totally fine. And I have my 7.1 system going. So that makes it a lot more usable than I thought initially. Because being tethered to the receiver with this, and then not having the audio but only in the headphones was pointless. Now, as for relaxation value, when you're sitting up, this is absolutely fine. When you're leaning back, do I want to have this on for an extended period of time? Also, video gaming, talking about an extended period of time, you're not supposed to use it while you're charging. So how long does it actually last? I'm going to have to test that and report later. It does feel, of course, it has to be tight to your body. So it feels like you're a little bit constricted. That comes with the territory of having haptics, feedback shit on you. Do I want to sit like this for an extended period of time? I don't know. Can't tell you. As far as the feedback goes, I feel that there's a lag. I was expecting you're shooting a gun and it goes pong pong and really hits you precisely. It's more a kind of a thing. It is very strong. It absolutely is strong. But it's a flabby response. And it's a response that is after. It's not like you're hitting the trigger, because it is sending audio. There's physics involved. So, not quite sure. Not quite sure what to think about it for video gaming. Is it better than nothing? Maybe. There's definitely an extra sensation. However, is it the response that I want for the investment of, over $400? No, it isn't. Back to me. So yes, playing video games works if you're and if you want to use your surrounding your surround system, whatever. It works if your system can have audio coming from your controller. Now, of course, if you're some kid sitting at home and you never really have a big system, you only use headphones anyway, then there's no drawback. You're using headphones anyway. You have I have some haptic feedback from my audio system. If I crank that up, my living room's booming. But if you want to feel some of that, then obviously this or the Vest is a good add-on. No questions about it. For me, having to use headphones, that's a step down. But now I found out with the controller, it works. Okay, you're supposed to put this not on the jiggle fat that I have. That doesn't really work. You have to have it somewhere where it's, a little bit more firm. So on the side here, on the hip, or in the middle of the chest. You're gonna look like a dog wearing this stuff. There's no question about it. You have to make it tight. So comfort isn't really the big thing about this. And yeah, you're gonna look like a dog. So I turn this on. I'm gonna pair this with my phone, and I'm going to long hold this. So I'm now pumping music into it, and I can feel it. I have to say, it's a highly underwhelming feeling. I can't say it any other way. Well, one of the reasons is it isn't, the bass drum, for example, isn't gung, 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 gung. There's bass going on. As long as the bass is going on, there are frequencies that are triggering it. Having that bass drum down there precise, we experience the bass drum in the high frequencies around 4K. That's where the precision comes from. So down there, right now, it's vibrating and it's a nice little massage, but it's all a flobby mess. It isn't a gung, 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 what we would expect. Right now, this thing is just constantly on vibrating. So I can turn this down, but it's not getting any better. So are you feeling something that's happening in the music? Yes. Are you feeling specifically exactly what's happening in a defined way? No. It's a flabby kind of low frequency wave that's vibrating you instead of the actual real things that are happening in the music, because I think there's just too much information in that music. Obviously, the same thing applies to the vest. So let's look at the vest. Leslie just had it on, so I'm going to have to readjust it. How is it sitting? So Leslie is clearly quite a bit smaller than I am. So it has to be tight, otherwise you're not making enough contact. That means, again, comfort is minimized. So that is rather tight. So we got two vibries here, two vibries here, and two back there. That makes it 6. Again, walking through city, you look like a dork. Now, sitting at home, I think playing video games is probably the reason to do this. Let's skip the video game part. Let's go into guitar and bass, and then have a little bit of a resume of what I think is happening. So right now I'm using a headphone adapter. I'm coming out of my audio interface, and I'm playing my actual guitar into an actual amp, which of course could also be a simulation, some kind of modeler. But it's going into my audio interface out of my monitor speakers so I can hear it, so I don't need a headphone, which of course you could also do. Plug a headphone in here and you're good to go. All analog, so this is, analog now. But I'm assigning an actual signal out of an extra headphone out through a Q-send here so that I'm feeding this separately from what I'm hearing. There's obviously no need to pair this because it's getting an analog signal. It's on now. Now the crossover frequency of where this works can be changed from 200 Hertz to 100 Hertz, which they call the focus mode, which you change by hitting plus and minus for a couple of seconds. And then it actually says, if you have headphones on, focus mode. So that would only then be the really low stuff versus 200 Hertz, a little bit more other stuff. So I can feel a little bit. Okay, now more. Yeah. The guitar simply isn't low enough to adequately trigger it. There's a little bit of rumble going on, but not gung, gung. There isn't a lot. The guitar as an instrument just isn't low enough. So let's go to a bass. Now, bass players have been using haptic feedback on stage for quite a while. There's the, what's it called? The pleasure board from back then Tech, and now Eich amplification, which is a, I think it's like $700, whatever, 1x1 meter board that you stand on, and that really gives you direct feedback over every note. So on stage, you can feel what you're playing, even though you're not standing in front of a big speaker. So that's the, ultra nice version of this with thousands of watts. Let's see if this can do it a little bit for the bass player. Not sure you want to stand on stage like that, but that's your problem. So I can hear it now through the speaker, so I got audible feedback, but that's not super loud, so it wouldn't move me. Now I'm going to assign it to my vest. Okay. I need more. Okay, I think the crossover for musical applications has to be different. Because right here, nothing. A little bit. So it's really the E and the B string that give me direct feedback. But now it's better than when I was listening to music, because we're eliminating all these other sources that are vibrating it. We're giving it only the one that I'm focusing on. A little bit on the A string, but on the E string, much more direct feedback. And on the B string, there's real feedback. Nothing. Okay. Not shaky enough really to... I mean, let me crank the volume up. Okay, now the crossover is still too low at 200. So let's get to the bottom line, my 2 cents. I love gadgets. I want this to be awesome. And given that it's compatible with music and video games and whatever you want and Bluetooth, there are drawbacks. It has a crossover frequency. Anything under, it will react to. Anything over, it'll blend out. But also everything under, because it's reacting to audio, it will react to. And for me, that is one of the problems where the concept, and it's not the mistake of the company or the fault of the company, it's the fault of physics. With the whole concept falls down to me. First of all, as a haptic feedback device for a musician, I think it could be very cool. For a drummer, drummers have things that shake their drum drones for lots of money. They could use this, but it would have to be, that's the other thing, it would have to be precisely in time. Now, with the bass, I feel something on the E and B string, but then that crossover kind of ignores the stuff above, which is kind of sad. On a video game, I have questions. How long does the battery last? Haven't tested it. I will, and then write it down here because I'll play some Halo today, which just came out, and see how long it lasts. Then, it's not uncomfortable, but video game sessions last a long time. Do you want this on for a long, long time? And also, since you can't charge it while playing, at some point, the fun's over. During the video game, my problem is I was expecting very clear haptic feedback. You're shooting a gun and it does a very clear hit. What happens is you shoot a gun and it goes brrr, brrr. It's a very flabby response. But as I was playing Gears of War, there's music. Now, it cannot distinguish whether it's reacting to music, a car hitting the wall, or you shooting. It's reacting to all low frequencies. Therefore, it's reacting to the music droning. And so the whole thing goes, and then you're shooting. But of course, since it's already doing something, that effect of the shot is minimized by the music already triggering it. So it's doing its thing. and then you shoot something, and then it goes a little bit more, a little bit more, and it also does it a little bit behind when you actually trigger. So the latency isn't the immediate. It's not. That's what I was hoping for, but it can't be because it's being fed by analog audio, and then it has to do its thing and react. So as you pull the trigger, it cannot already have a very clear hit. Now, how do the controllers do it on your systems? Well, those controllers are getting a programmed response from the game. The game says, when you do this kind of shake. That is where this needs to be. This needs to digitally get information from a game so that the music doesn't do shit to it. So that the car driving by does a little bit to it. So that in the game, they program how your haptic vest, maybe from Woojer, maybe from PlayStation, maybe from Sony, maybe from Microsoft, who knows, but how that reacts so that it doesn't continuously get triggered by the music or other sound effects. It only gets triggered by what the game designer wants it to react to. So that when I'm shooting, I only feel the shot. So it's from 0 to shot, and then it really is a nice hit. So it's just all wishy-washy, a wave of vibration because it's triggered by all audio. And I think for me, that's where the biggest fallback is. It is not the fault of the company. See, this time I did it right. It's just how the concept is. Now, if they work together and had this connect with Bluetooth, with the PlayStation or the Xbox or your Switch, and you're completely wireless, it only sends the trigger signals and only those signals that the game designers wanted, so that you could go into the menu and say, haptic vest, only guns, music, environmental effects. See, then you can say what you want to feel. As a music experience thing, it's the same thing. There's the bass going, there's the kick drum going. Can you feel something? Absolutely. Does it work as advertised? You feel something? Absolutely. But it isn't as punchy as I would want it, and it isn't as defined because it doesn't know what the bass is and what the kick drum is. So it's just rolling on the bass, and when the kick drum hits, there are little waves instead of very clear hits. To me, it's not very satisfactory. So my current inclination is I want to send both of them back. The strap for sure, that's $175. That I'm sorry, that doesn't do much. The vest, quite a bit better, but it's quite a big investment for something that doesn't do exactly what I was hoping it is doing. The super sad thing is, as I was testing it out last night on the couch, Leslie comes in, she's like, "Oh, I got you this for Christmas." So she got me a gadget, the super mega awesome. You know, she's like, "This is totally stupid. Henning would like it." You know, completely the right kind of thought. And I'm the idiot who already bought it to test it for you guys and then decides to possibly send it back. So for sure we have to send one of them back, but probably all of it because I don't see it being quite ready yet. I wish it was. It would be so freaking cool. But I think they'd have to work together with the game manufacturers to make this directly communicate with your console. As for music, you can't. All the frequencies are always there. As for playing guitar with it, not gonna happen. It would have been so cool. You know, no. And as for bass, yeah, for the two low strings. So maybe they should have an app where you can define the crossover frequency. Make it all frequencies if you're playing it like I was with a bass. Because I think bass players would love the shit out of this. So I think there are more uses than Woojer is thinking of. Okay, that's it from here. Again, fully unpaid. It's not true. It was paid. I paid for this. And it'll go back. It's too much money for for what it's doing at the moment. At the moment. Keep at it, Woojer. I think you can nail this. So, hope this told you something. I'll put links below. You can go to the website if you want to. Go ahead and order it. There's a 30-day return thing on it. So, but you have to pay the shipping back, by the way. So you will pay something for it if you don't like it. You have to know this, and they make you go through a couple of hoops. It's like, I want to return it. There isn't they say no questions asked on the website. Oh no, they ask you questions. Oh, trust me, they ask you questions. First of all, you have to go on the website. At the very bottom, I'll show you where that is. It says, here you return it. And then it says, okay, blah, 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 blah. And then click here. And then you have to say why you want to return it. Well, that's a question, Woojer. You say no questions asked. That's a question. And I don't like it isn't an option. So you fill out a reason why. None of those reasons are the reason why I want to send it back. And then comes an email trying to solve your problem. No, dudes. No questions asked. Don't write no questions asked if you're asking questions and then your first step is trying to convince people to keep it. I get what you're doing. It's fine. But don't say no questions asked if you're asking questions. And then try to convince people to make it work. No. If I'm saying I want to return it, I want to return it. Send me the freaking RRA number. I don't like that. It's not cool. So, links below. Animals at the end.